I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day. I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Indianapolis Colts and the New Orleans Saints. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled. The 20.
Take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Carry by Taylor to start the drive. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
On third down, here's Taylor. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 at the 45. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. Well, this defense for the Colts, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And from the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Here's Ellinger. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks. 2nd and 15. Now Ellinger. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Well, Jonathan Taylor, like most guys from Wisconsin, he's not one to shy away from contact. He proved it right there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Nice job there on the tackle, keep him to the short game. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile it.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that it'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On 2nd down, Leary, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Ellinger to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 39. 21-0 our score after 1.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Colts 21, Saints nothing.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a handoff up the middle. Leary, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. To throw is Ellinger. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
On 2nd and 10, Ellinger. He's got Smith here. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The pass caught by Olave. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The kick by Lutz is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do come up with their first points of the game, but Charles, the question is going to shift to their defense.
Yeah, the way things have gone, 3 points could become insignificant fast if this grows to 28-3 or 35-3. They need this defense to come up with a stop, and they need to do it now.
19 Lions on the return. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Second down, another run with Taylor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 54 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
This is Smith with a grab. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Gallagher's throw there taken in by Smith.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Back to throw again. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Lutz with the extra point. And it makes the score 21-10.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hunt.
And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line.
So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
Working out of the shotgun is Gallagher.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. And the Colts are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
Jones now. A final shot before break. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half.
So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Glenn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try.
Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
From the gun, here's Gallagher.
It's caught. Smith. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Hines now on the return.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 63 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
Back to Taylor on 1st down.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. And the tight end goes in motion left. On 3rd, here's an option play right. Call it no gain on the keeper. It's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 4 yards on the pickup there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another 1st down at the Colts' 31-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Coming left is Kamara.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Touchdown, Saints! Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Saints are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. 99 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, pardon, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
They run once more with Taylor.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Off the option, here's Taylor.
Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now Jones. Campbell making the catch. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Taylor is going to take this one in for a Colts touchdown. So how about the season, Charles, that he continues to put together? That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rarefied territory.
Yeah, it made you and I do a little extra homework prior to this one in anticipation because that one moves it past John Riggins with 24. He draws even with Emmitt Smith with 25 in 1995. Next up, Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander with 27. And the guy on top, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, the Hall of Famer, he had 28 in 2006.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Ellinger throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught.
And he'll be out right at the 35. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41.
Going right back to Michael Thomas. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On play action, Ellinger.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Ellinger to throw on 1st and 10 here.
He completes it to Olave. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's good for 28 yards.
That's another 6. First down and goal to go.
Here's Ellinger. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Ellinger. Touchdown! Andrew Beck. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hit. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
129 yards rushing for him in this one, and he is drawing ever closer to a 2,000-yard season. Again, it's Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college.
And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
35, Saints 23.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. But what a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win in both sides of the ball. made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for the Colts, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.
many memories that I made on Cascade Road. I done gained the world.